every CNC has to be run by electronics. In essence, there's a controller system. And there's different ways to do this. Some CNCs use a computer to actually control it. Sometimes there's a computer combined with controller cards. In the case of the Laguna IQ, as well as its two competitors, they use a controller made by an Asian company, and it's called a Rich Auto A11 system. It consists of a box to where all the controller cards are that talk to the motors and the other electronics, and this little thing here. We call this a pendant. And this is your base controller. Essentially, you have this little LCD screen, and you have a keypad. So in order to run a file, for example, you do your work on your computer, generate your G-code from your CAD and CAM program, you plug in the USB here, you push a button or two to bring up the file that you want to run, then you just simply hit go. As long as I'm talking about the controller, I want to mention one other thing about it. It's metric only. So any dimensions that come up, the G-code files that run through here, any movement you make has to be done in metric form. And if you happen to do your drawings or build your pieces that you do in imperial form, that means there has to be some sort of translation. So if I wanted to move an inch, for example, I have to figure out that it's 254 millimeters. Well, I'm encouraging that the people, the companies that use this Rich Auto controller, talk to the manufacturer and see if that they can offer an option for imperial measurements as well. It should be some sort of simple keyboard equivalent. You just punch in a couple of numbers and you can go between metric and imperial, such as on this caliper. It's very simple. I just press a single button, I'm millimeters, press another button, I'm inches. It'd be a great improvement. So what could you do with a CNC of this size? Well, on the Laguna, I've laid out a bunch of dining chair parts here. I got a crest rail, front and back rail, side rails, etc. No problem. You could actually build most all of them at once if you set all the boards on here. I also did some 3D tests as well. So I've generated a design that has these different geometric patterns. And to judge it, I'm able to see just how smooth these things have come out. And they've come out just about the same as it does on my custom-made CNC machine. Very accurate, very nice, very precise. So question often comes up, what do you do when you have to cut something bigger, say something 6 foot long by 2 foot wide? Well, there's different techniques, but essentially you use a pin registration system where you would do one half of the part, slide it down, drop into another pin position, then you do the back half of the part. So all of that makes a machine this size actually very useful for small shops. It may not be the biggest CNC, but most general woodworking tasks, it'll actually work on just fine. And because of its extra length off the end of the bed, not only could you do joinery off here, but you could do slightly longer parts. For example, a dining chair leg, I typically make them, they're around 38 inches long. Well, you can actually just overhang it off the end and cut it in one pass. So there's a lot that can be done with a machine in this size range. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm a big fan of the machines in this class. They use really good components, linear rails, ball screws, very stiff construction, water-cooled spindles. All really are very good parts. They will also give you a long lifetime. These kind of parts are made to be run day in and day out for a long, long time. Now, all the machines have slightly different idiosyncrasies. The Axiom and the Powermatic uses a T-track bed. The Laguna happens to use a flat bed. But, you know, it just depends on what you want. In my case, I happen to like this approach because it allows me to register things more predictably. The Laguna also allows you to overrun the table by about 4 inches, and that gives you the ability to do joinery and vertical work. That's a really nice added feature. The Laguna IQ is obviously a very nice CNC, certainly something that's easy to recommend. So thanks for watching the video today. In the future, I expect to do a lot more, particularly around techniques and methods of digital woodworking and just general CNC routing of wood. There's definitely a lot to learn. I'm always learning myself. So again, thanks for watching the video. We hope to see you next time. Thank you.